Hello everyone, it's Anya here. I'm back with another video for Ophelia Crafts. Now, the other day I was looking through what I can make, and I fancied making a card with my big shot. So I thought I would make a wedding card, and it says Happy Together. And I've chosen Blackberry Bliss here. Today we're not going to use Blackberry Bliss because I'm running out, so I've only got, you know, this amount left, sort of this size. So I've placed an order and it should be replenished soon enough, but in the meantime we'll just choose another colour. So we're going to go from Blackberry Bliss to Rich Razzleberry. Now, like I said, I wanted to play around with my big shots. So today, for this card, we're going to be using the embossing folder, the Perfect Polka Dots. We're also going to be using the framelits, the label collection, and we're going to use a second one from the middle, from the smallest one. So not the smallest one, but the one, that one, you know, the next one. The sentiment Happy Together comes from A Dozen Thoughts. There's quite a few things in here that you might need for one-of-a-kind cards. You know, for example, You're in My Thoughts, or You Made My Day, a one-of-a-kind card for a one-of-a-kind person. You know, so these are maybe not the happy birthday that we always use, but it does come in handy sometimes as well. Sometimes you just want to say hello. So this time I thought I would use this one, Happy Together, and the font I think is quite nice. That would go with this sort of kind of card, so that's why I chose that one. And then I wanted to have a whole bunch of flowers going round, so I chose the petite petals with the matching punch, because that's ever so easy to stamp them and punch them out. So we'll be doing that later. To get started and to make this video not too long, I have already here prepared the paper flowers that I've just put in, so the non-stamped ones. I have also already put the pearls in there as well, because that does take a little bit of time. So let's get on with making this card. So we've got, as a card base, we have a card that is 5.5 5.5 by 4.25, no, by 8.25. So this is 5.5, this is 8.25, and then you divide that and that becomes 4 1/8. Right, so that's a side folding card. I'll put that to the side for the moment, because what I want to do is I want to stamp just a little flower there, so that we'll do that in a moment. But what we are first going to do is make our opening. Now, like you know, I haven't had my big shot for a long time, so what I did first was emboss it, and then I was going to cut out this. But of course that meant that the embossed piece of paper had to go through the big shot again, and all my pretty little polka dots were gone. So I had to, luckily I managed to put it back into the folder, and it came out and it was right. I didn't have sort of double embossed. But so this time I know that I need to do it first cutting, then embossing. I mean, these are the things that you learn by doing things. I have indicated the middle in my card there, and I'm just going to sort of put this, sort of eyeball it and put it in the middle there. And I'm just going to put a little post-it note over the top so that it stays into place. I use my my platform and then just the 2 cutting plates, and that's all I need for cutting it. There we go. And that should have cut it nicely. I'm just going to open up my big shot here, because for the embossing we're going to have to go on to tab 1, so we're going to have to make sure that tab 2 was taken out. There we go. So that's our It's not completely in the middle, but I don't mind. I like a bit of space here for the flowers, so that's fine. Then I'm going to take the embossing folder and I'm going to open it up. It's easier said than done. And I'm just going to place this nicely in the middle. Up, yeah, a little bit, because it's a tiny bit smaller than all my other embossing folders. I don't know why. So now I need to put it through my Big Shot again, and this time it will come out nicely embossed. Just have to hold up the flap of my platform there. There we go. So this time I do not have to double emboss like I did with the previous one. Right, here we go. So there we are. Okay, so that's our front ready. Now, I don't like stamping straight on the card, because if it goes wrong then, well, you might see it through the card because it was such a dark colour. So I'm just going to stamp the sentiment on a piece of paper and then glue it behind there. So let's get the Rich Razzleberry out. And I've already mounted my sentiment. Let's ink it up, and what I'll do is I'll just place it sort of in the middle there so that I can hide it behind my opening. I'm just going to cut it out. It doesn't really matter that it's straight because you're not going to see that anyway. So this is what we're going to do. Place it like this, and then that goes over. See, nobody sees. So let me put some glue on here. That was rather a lot that came out. There we go. So we sort of place it in the middle. That moved. And then place this on top just to make sure that it's where I want it to be, and it isn't, so I need to just move it a little bit. And again, down a bit. There we go. I'm happy with that. Let's just press that down. Okay. Then we're ready to mount this as well. So, dimensionals. I always put one there as well because it's an opening, you need some support. Okay, and we can get rid of the backings here. And then it's time to do some stamping. If only these backings would come off a little bit easier. They do come off easy, but never on video. Oh no, that was off already. There we go. Right, so that one is now ready for the flowers to be put on. I'm just going to take a little flower and put it on there. Right, there we go, and leave it open just so that the flowers can dry. Now I have my bit of paper here. I had another scrap there, so let's take that one. And let's stamp out a couple of flowers. I always stamp with 2 petals to the bottom because that's how my punch can reach them best. Okay, and I'm going to choose another flower. I think I will have this one. And the way I mount my stamps is I huff on them and then I put them down, press well, and that should do it. And I always, like I say, I put my flower down to the bottom with 2 petals of the paper, because that's how the punch will work best. Okay, so we now have this, the punch, and we line up the punch like this. Look, no problem to line it up once you've got that in your head, that you need to remember to punch it with the 2 petals down, and that makes life a whole lot easier. So that's those. So I already, like I said, I already punched out a few small ones and some paper ones from paper. So we'll now decorate these. I have my tool here. There we go. And I just push this down. Makes nice petals doing it like this. Right? Then I push them down again. Let me first close the ink, because we have had accidents. And I've got some pearls here with glue on them, you know, with a sticky backing, so we're getting there. Better than gluing them on like I was doing previously. And another couple to go. I'm using the medium-sized pearls for this. I had small-sized, the really small ones over there, and I had some other ones left. So I just like to vary the sizes of the pearls, just to create a little bit more interest in my card. So again, that helps. So let's put a couple of things out of the way so we can actually see what we're doing here. Okay, so we've got the card. All we need to do now is position the flowers. And I try not to put the same ones together. And I also try to put one there, and then sort of the big ones, and then I try to put the little ones in between. But we'll put the big ones on there first. I've got a dab of glue on this piece of paper to cut out from the previous card actually. And what I'm doing is I just dab my flower onto the glue and just place it. I dab, and see, that just gives you just enough glue on there, and a dab and a wipe, yep, a dab, yep. Right, there we go. That one over there. We'll fill up some of these gaps with the small one in a moment. Okay, and one more to go at the top there. I have to be careful because this glue does look, it's turned purple there. I don't think I should have used a piece of coloured card. I should have used maybe some white card. But it's only by doing that you learn. So that's how I made the mistake earlier of having to reboss my piece of paper, but I thought, well, that will make a nice thing to tell people in my video. And then hopefully you won't make that mistake. But then it wasn't a real mistake. I was able to correct it, so that's always a good thing. Oh, let's put one there. Okay, 2 more little ones to go. And I'll put one there. And then here, no glue, I'll put one there. There we go. And we've got the card stamped in the middle as well. So I think that's a nice card to send to someone for their wedding. And I hope you enjoyed watching my tutorial on this card. I also hope that you will come back and watch some more of my tutorials, because I am planning quite a few more. And if you would like to purchase any of the supplies that I've used today, please go to opheliacrafts.stampingup.net, where all the materials are available for you to purchase. Thank you for watching and have a great day. Bye!